Yo, what's up, Broncos country? How's it going today, guys? So, me and Muhammad are back this week. We got a lot of stuff to go over quarterback rankings. We're going to go over our week one predictions and a couple other things. So, if you guys would please like, comment, subscribe on this video. Also, hit that bell notification so you know when we go live. And please also get your comments in so we can go over them. We want to know your guys' thoughts and everything about the QB rankings and, your predictions for week one for, the entire NFL, not just the Broncos. So, let's get into it. So, Mohammed, first we're going to get into the PFF quarterback rankings that came out this last week. Let me go ahead and get this up here, and we're going to go over and we're going to talk about everything. From if we think this player is ranked right or if this player is ranked wrong, they're too low, too high, whichever. Because this is also Mohammed. Know this: these rankings are based on the player's performance from pretty much last season. Nothing before that, which is why some of these rankings are not going to make a whole lot of sense. Like even PFF doesn't even go off their own grades from 2024. They're literally just winging it, it seems like to me. So, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's see right here. All right. Let's see if I can get here. All right. Oh crap, that's the wrong thing. Why did I put that up there? Give me a second, guys. This thing's just being ridiculous. I don't know why I did that. That's not the one I pressed. Okay. Okay, share screen. There we go. That's better. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go over here and I'm going to go up. All right, to start off, we got basically tier one here. And as you can see right here, the first quarterback they got here in tier one is Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Now, Mohammed, what is your feeling towards this? What is your take on this? Mahomes being number one.
I feel like they're trying to piss me off, Eddie. Like, really? Like, why? Because he went to the Super Bowl. He was terrible last season. I'm not gonna say he's gonna fall out of the top 10, but come on, number one, really? That doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. Like, no. Why? Okay, if we're using the same logic, you could put Jalen Hurts over there, number one, right? I mean,
Well,
if
here's the
they're going
thing.
by,
Like, I read over this entire article, and there's a point in here where it says they even say these quarterback rankings are based. This is why I said this before I posted this up. These quarterback rankings are based off what these players did last season. Really? Patrick Mahomes was terrible last season. He was terrible in the Super Bowl. He was terrible throughout the playoffs. If anything, in my opinion, Josh Allen should be number one. He was the MVP. He had the best. I think him and Lamar had the best numbers in the NFL. Like you can make an argument for, you know, uh, Josh
either
Allen
one.
and Lamar Jackson having better numbers and possibly could be number one. Like you can even throw maybe who's number two right here and Joe Burrow in there because I mean maybe the start of the season Burrow wasn't doing well, but towards the end he was really starting to flash. But honestly, to me, if I had to pick a quarterback to be number one, I would say it had to be Josh Allen. He won the MVP. He had really great numbers. And remember, Muhammad, I don't know if you remember this, but last offseason, they were talking about the Bills as if they were going to take a step back because they lost Stephon Diggs. And where people were like, well, we don't know much about these weapons. We don't know. They're not really those guys. So they thought the Bills were going to take a step back this past year. Guess what? That whole offense and that team made the playoffs, and Josh Allen had those numbers because of Josh Allen. So to me, Josh Allen should be ranked number one in my opinion. So, but yeah, I think this is a homer kind of a pick right here at number one. Like they're not they even themselves say they said themselves at PFF like these rankings are based off last season 2024. They're literally going back years on this one.
Yeah.
What Patrick Mahomes has accomplished over the last 6 years basically is what this is saying. Like that's why he's the best quarterback. Because if you like, even their own numbers from PFF show Patrick Mahomes was like the fifth best quarterback last year, or the fourth best quarterback in the NFL last year. He was. I'm not saying he was terrible, but he was certainly not number one by any stretch of the imagination. So, but yeah, this list already started off terribly. But Moving on to number 2, as you see right there, Joe Burrow for the Cincinnati Bengals. This one I can maybe get behind, but what's your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
Honestly, Eddie, I still think he's ranked higher than where he should because I'm basically looking at the quarterback and their record or what they did last season. If that's what we're talking about, then I don't think he should be number two, four, five, six, somewhere around there. But number two, I don't see it. Like, where's Lamar Jackson? Where's Josh Allen? Come on, I don't know what they like. It just doesn't make sense to me, Eddie. Seriously. And I mean, I looked through it too, and a lot of stuff, like some people were ranked really high, some were ranked really low. And I'm like, I don't know what it's based on, but it's not based on what happened last season, that's for sure.
Yeah, like I said, Joe Burrow had a phenomenal, like I'd say, like the last half of the season last year. That's when Joe Burrow really started. Because we know those Cincinnati Bengals, they always start off slow. Like the first 2, 3, 4 games of the year, the Bengals and Joe Burrow start off relatively slow, and after they lost their star pass rusher and Hendrickson, sorry, I can't say his name correctly. That defense was atrocious. Like it was terrible. Like Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense had to score like 35 points a game just to win games. I mean, think about the Broncos going to Cincinnati last year. Like, what was the final score of that game? What was it, like 40-30 something? Like they had to score a buttload of points in order to win that game, and they barely won. It went to overtime. Like honestly, the Broncos should have won that. If Sean Payton would have done what Bo Nix wanted, which was go for two at the end of regulation after they scored that awesome touchdown, Bo Nix to Marvin Mims, I think the Broncos win that game. I don't know what Sean Payton was thinking there, but whatever, I digress. But Joe Burrow, yes, he had a phenomenal, towards like the back half of the season, he had a great season. He really had to because the defense was so bad. But this is where, like, I had Josh Allen, at 1. This is where I would have Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson came in second MVP voting. He had a spectacular season last year. His numbers dictate that. And yeah, these QB rankings based off PFF's own grading scale don't even make sense. These first two, at least, don't make sense. So, but so like I said, to me, last year Josh Allen 1, Lamar Jackson 2. Now scrolling down here, this is where Lamar Jackson comes in. Now this one still doesn't make sense to me because we just talked about it. But what are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson being 3, Mohammed?
I mean, honestly, yeah, I think he should be higher, but at least he's like on the top five, so I'll take it, I guess.
Well, like I said, Josh Allen to me was the clear-cut best quarterback in the league last year with what he had to work with, and people thinking the Bills were going to take a step back and him winning MVP. Josh Allen was clear-cut number 1. To me, Lamar Jackson's a spot too low. He should be number 2, in my
Like
opinion.
1A, 1B, sort of, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I would say Lamar Jackson 2, Josh Allen 1. And then maybe like even I would probably be honestly more comfortable with putting maybe Joe Burrow right here at 3. Honestly, with what he did at the end of the season with no defense, like I would have to put Joe Burrow at 3. His numbers showed that he was probably the third best quarterback in the NFL last year. So yeah, like the first 3 just don't make sense. Lamar Jackson's 1 spot too low. Joe Burrow is probably 1 spot too high. Patrick Mahomes is like honestly way like a couple of spots too high. So, but
It
moving
just
on
feels
to
like they're scared to put him anywhere any lower than number one, Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, come on, if he
yeah,
didn't play well, he didn't play well. Come on.
well, and as we see right here, I think you should switch Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes did have some good games last year. I would put him 4. Like I said, I wouldn't take Patrick Mahomes out of the top 5, but I think right here at 4 would be perfect for Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, Josh Allen's number 1, Lamar Jackson's 2, Joe Burrow 3, Patrick Mahomes number 4. I'd be fine with that list. They got freaking Patrick Mahomes 3 spots too high, and they got Josh Allen 3 spots too freaking low, in my opinion. But what do you think, Mohammed?
Yeah, I agree with you. I honestly think you could go either way. One and two should have been Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and then if they moved Patrick Mahomes, maybe number 5 or even 6, it'll make more sense. But they didn't fall out of the top 5. So
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to throw this out there. Have you noticed a pattern yet here, Mohammed, with the first 4 quarterbacks?
no.
Or have you noticed something about the first 4 quarterbacks? They're all AFC quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, all. So that just proves to you how good the AFC really is compared to the NFC. And I love it, man. Like this is gonna be a fun year for Bronco fans, and because as we went over last week, my feelings about the division this year. Number 5 is Jalen Hurts, and honestly, I am fine with this one. What about you, Mohammed?
Yeah. If they put them like 3 or 4, I wouldn't be mad because what they have done. But yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I personally, we know it was the defense and Saquon was the leaders of that team, but hey, the quarterback still has to, be the commander on that team. He has to be the one basically running the offense, even though Saquon was probably the biggest reason why. But think about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, the Chiefs, they shut down Saquon Barkley. I don't think he had over 80 yards rushing in that game. It was Jalen Hurts. I mean, great. The biggest thing in that Super Bowl that helped the Eagles win it was the defense, of course, shutting down Patrick Mahomes. But on the offensive side, it was Jalen Hurts. Him throwing the ball multiple times, him, scrambling, picking up yards because the running game really wasn't working. The Chiefs did come to stop the run and the Super Bowl. They just couldn't stop the pass for Jalen Hurts. So with Jalen Hurts being at 5, I'm perfectly fine with it. The guy deserves it. He won a bowl. And honestly, he's like, I mean, come on. The Eagles scored 40 freaking points against a stellar Chiefs defense, by the way. And that was mostly due to Jalen Hurts' arms and his legs. I mean, I'm not trying to discount Saquon because he's the reason why they even got to the Super Bowl and got through the playoff run. But the Chiefs made it a thing to shut down Saquon in the Super Bowl. And they actually did do that. That's the one thing they did do well in the Super Bowl. So Jalen Hurts being the reason why the Eagles, honestly, outside of the defense, on the offensive side of the ball, Jalen Hurts is the reason why the Eagles won that Super Bowl outside of the defense, on the offensive side. So, but as we see here next, we got Jaden Daniels at 6 from the Washington Commanders. What do you think about this?
Too high. I think he's too high. I understand why they did that, Eddie, but come on.
Well, it is based on what you did last year. It is, and I mean, you can sit there and say it was the defense, it was the players, it was the coach.
It was good,
but they got to the NFC Championship.
Maybe I'm being biased. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
I'm fine with it. Honestly, Jaden Daniels has a spectacular year. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Jaden Daniels is going to fall off a cliff this year, but I do think the Commanders kind of regress a little bit this year. I think, for Jaden Daniels' first year as a rookie in the NFL, he makes all the way to the NFC title game. That's pretty dang good. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels and the Commanders will win a Super Bowl in his, career. I really do. I believe they will. But at the same time, I think this year they're going to take a step back. Now, I'm not going to say much about Dallas or New York. I think both those teams are still going to be frisky, even though I don't think they're going to be very good this year. But I think the Commanders take a step back. I still believe the Eagles win that division. That's their division to lose, honestly, at this point. But because they're the defending Super Bowl champs. But I'm fine with Jaden Daniels being there. Hopefully he doesn't have a sophomore slump like CJ Stroud did last year. But, I'm fine with Jaden Daniels being at 6, honestly. He played really, really well last year for the Commanders, and it was actually really fun to watch him. Next up, Matthew Stafford from the Los Angeles Rams. What is your thoughts on this, Mohammed? Matthew Stafford being at 7?
I think it's too high, Eddie. Number 7, come on. I don't think it's kind of fair for the other quarterbacks. Maybe a little bit lower. I would go 9, maybe 10, but not 7. What do you think, Eddie?
I think it is too high, a slight bit too high. Like Matthew Stafford, I don't think I'm not saying he had a bad year, but his numbers weren't, I wouldn't say scream top 10 to me last year.
He did not flash at all.
Don't get me wrong, the Rams still made the playoffs, but to me, the NFC West last year was a bad, I wouldn't say bad division, but it wasn't great. Let's just put it that way. The 49ers, they got just riddled with injuries last year. If the 49ers don't get injured, like just destroyed by injuries, the 49ers probably still win that division. The Seahawks last year, they were kind of an up and down team. They really weren't all that great. The Cardinals, they're still kind of rebuilding ish. Like Kyler Murray, I don't even know what to say. Like the kid's, I think, 28 or 29 years old. And he's that Russell Wilson type architect quarterback where he's basically just going to, he runs around to make plays with his legs. He runs outside the pocket to throw the ball deep downfield. Now that he's getting closer to 30, that athleticism for Kyler Murray is going to start dipping. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of years the Cardinals are looking for a new quarterback again. But I digress on that. At Stafford, I think he's a little too high. Trying to think, like other quarterbacks in the AFC, like I think could be higher than him. Honestly, I think. I can't say. Like, I would say maybe Matthew Stafford had a better season than I'm sorry, Jared Goff. I'm sorry, I'm out of my mind. Jared Goff had a better season. Sam Darnold had a better season. I know that's crazy to say, but he did. Even I would. Well, I ain't gonna say him, but you get what I'm saying. There's a few quarterbacks I could see, that could be higher than Matthew Stafford on this list. They had better numbers, better records, got deeper into the playoffs than Matthew Stafford. So that's just my take on it. Next up, we got Justin Herbert at 8 with the Los Angeles Chargers. I will tell you my thoughts, but first, Muhammad, what are yours?
Okay, maybe it's another. Maybe I'm being biased again, but I honestly think that's too high. Number 8, really? I mean, I don't know, Eddie. Like, he was terrible last season. No, but he wasn't like the 8th best quarterback. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'd really put him at 11, 12, something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to say Justin Herbert does not belong in the top 10. Like, people are going to say, well, the Chargers made the playoffs last year. But, yeah, they did. But the Chargers had the number 1 ranked defense last year. And we, like, if you watch any Chargers game from last year, I don't think Herbert threw the ball over 20 times at all.
No.
Like, in a single game, he did not throw more than 20 times, if he even got to 20. They are a run-heavy first team.
Yeah.
Like, they run the ball. That's what Jim Harbaugh wants to do, is run the ball. Like, honestly, if I were freaking Jim Harbaugh, like, why on earth waste a gifted, talented quarterback like a Justin Herbert? Send him to a different team that actually likes throwing the ball. Wants to throw the ball downfield. Like, this is not me trying to say, I'm scared of Justin Herbert or anything. I want him out of the division. I'm not scared of Justin Herbert by any stretch. I'm not even scared of Patrick Mahomes anymore at this point. But the thing is like, why have a gifted, talented, quarterback with a big arm on your team if you're not going to use that?
Yeah.
If you're going to be a team that wants to run the ball and play defense, fine. Don't have a freaking superstar quarterback that has a big arm and has been in the league for years, and we've seen him make good plays before in the past. It's like, dude, send it to a team that actually is going to use him and, use him for what he's known for, which is his arm.
That's it.
Like, I just get it, man. Like, if I was Justin Herbert, I'd want out of Los Angeles too. I'd be like, dude, send me somewhere else where I can actually play. And I'm not sitting here handing the ball off 40 times a freaking game.
Because I know he wants to pass the ball. He wants to throw it. He doesn't want to just run it the whole day.
Well, that's any quarterback. Even the worst quarterback in the NFL. You could say Mason Rudolph, who's honestly probably the worst quarterback in the league, in my opinion, for the Steelers right now. It's like, dude, even he wants to throw the ball. Like, even if they know that they're not very good and they're better at playing defense and running the ball, they still want to throw the damn thing. That's what they're there to do. They're playing quarterback in the NFL for a reason. They want to throw the ball. And if I was Justin Herbert, man, I'd be like, dude, send me somewhere where, like, how about this? How about the Chargers trade Justin Herbert to the Arizona Cardinals? Because they actually got Marvin Harrison Jr. out there. They got weapons. They got Trey McBride. And let him air it out there. Like, I'm just saying.
I'll get their quarterback, Eddie.
Or better yet, send him to the Steelers, who's got DK Metcalf. I'm just saying, like, if I was Justin Herbert, man, I'd be like, dude, get me out of here. If you're going to make me hand the ball off 40 times a game, let me go. Like, I don't want to sit here and do that. I want to throw. So, But last year, that was pretty much the case. Like they ran the ball a lot every single game.
He might
And
get
Justin
tired of
Herbert,
it. He might get
yeah.
tired of it after a few seasons. Be like,
So
hey, listen, I don't like this. Trade me. Something.
yeah. So pretty much Justin Herbert being an eight's too high for me. I'm not saying he couldn't be worthy of the eighth overall spot on this, but it's just like I said, this list is based off what production these quarterbacks did last season. And Justin Herbert didn't have that great of numbers because one, he didn't have that many receivers or a tight end, and two, they didn't throw the ball that much. They were more of a running team. So I think it's too high for Justin Herbert personally. And that sucks for him because that's not really his fault. You know what I mean? Um, Next on, this is tier 3. This is where they got quarterback Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions. Mohammed, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't necessarily hate it, Eddie. Looking at what he did last season, looking at the Detroit Lions in general, I don't really disagree with it. 9, 10, so, that seems like a fair thing for him. What do you think?
Well, as we just talked about with Justin Herbert, I would put him in maybe a spot above, maybe even 2 spots above Matthew Stafford and Justin Herbert. Don't get me wrong, Matthew Stafford's good. He did have a good solid season last year. It's just, I don't know, man. I think Stafford's getting older, you know. And I mean, his arm hasn't wavered, but I mean, maybe I could be wrong on that. Maybe not 7, but I would at least put Jared Goff up to 9. I'm sorry, 8. I put him above Justin Herbert since he had better numbers than Justin Herbert last year. Honestly, they threw the ball, even though Detroit's kind of a play defense and run the ball. Last year, dude, their defense got. I mean, you remember their defense just got riddled with injuries, so they had to throw the ball a lot more. They couldn't just run because their defense were giving up so many points. Like they were down in a lot of games. Jared Goff had to throw the ball to win games, and they did. So I would put him a slight step above. I'd put him at probably 8, most likely. Next up, oh crap, what just happened? Oops. The whole screen just changed on me. Give me a second here, guys. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, next up, and this one kind of takes me off, Muhammad, I'm not going to lie. Geno Smith for the Las Vegas Raiders at number 10. Like, honestly, this does not make sense to me at all. What about you?
Same. I don't know where that came from. It just I don't know, Eddie. This whole list is odd, to say the least. I probably put him around 15, 16, if not lower, but not 10.
Yeah, Geno Smith is ranked way too high in my opinion. Like the Seahawks, once again, they are ran by a defensive-minded head coach who likes to run the ball and play defense. Geno Smith's numbers last year were not all that great. And honestly, based even on PFF's own freaking numbers, Geno Smith should not be number 10. He's ahead of, honestly, quarterbacks that he should, like Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence should be ahead of him. I think, I'm going to say it, Bo Nix should be ahead of him based on what each quarterback did last year. There's a few others I'm missing, I'm sure, but CJ Stroud, for instance, too. I mean, I know CJ Stroud and the Texans didn't really have a great year last year, but also, I said this earlier. Yeah, this is based off what they did last year, but it's also based off, future trajectory. So, what can these quarterbacks do in the future? Really, Geno Smith is 35, and you got him 10th. Like, I guess trajectory doesn't mean nothing to PFF, on their own grading scale and what they say. So, Geno Smith being number 10, that's just way, way, way too wonky for me, man. Like, I don't get that in the slightest. Doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Give me a second here, guys. The thing's screwing up again. I don't know what's going on, man. My computer's messing up.
It's lagging a little bit.
Let me see. But yeah, like, what are your overall thoughts so far, Mohammed, on the quarterback rankings?
I'm very disappointed at PFF. Seriously, like I thought they really do a better job than this. I don't. I don't get anything. I don't even see the pattern on what they're doing this ranking on. It's not. I don't know what it's based on. They're saying it's based on what uh, quarterbacks did last season, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. It does not make a whole lot of sense. It just it's honestly just baffling to me that like how do you have Geno Smith higher than like I said Trevor Lawrence, like that or Bo Nix for that matter. That literally does not make any logical freaking sense to me, man. Um, but with that said, I'm getting it back up here. Give me a second. All right. Next up at number 11, we have Brock Purdy from the San Francisco 49ers. Now, we know that he just got paid, but what are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
Yeah, I understand they had a lot of injuries last season. Based on his play, I think he's ranked higher than where I would have put him at 11. Um, like I said, it's very odd the way they have this set. Because I mean, if you look at number 12, they got Jordan. I mean, they got Jordan Love right there, and come on, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, maybe somewhere in the middle, late, maybe 18, 19, somewhere like that, but not 11. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it doesn't make sense to me either. It doesn't make sense to me either. Like, I don't get it. Like, yeah, the 49ers were riddled with injuries last year, but at the same time, it's like good quarterbacks are able to overcome the injuries on their team. And the 49ers, we saw last year, they missed the playoffs. They were completely and utter in shambles. Like, where'd they go last year? Like 5 wins, 6 wins, or something like that? I can't remember off the top of my head. Brock
They
Purdy
got
couldn't carry the load.
they
I
got
just
worse.
don't
And
think,
they lost all these
yeah,
players.
I think that's way too high for Brock Purdy. It's insane, dude. Like, at least the top half of the quarterback rankings, Brock Purdy should have been able to at least carry them to a winning record. Maybe missed the playoffs, but still should have carried them to a winning record. He wasn't even close. So I think that's too high. Next up, Jordan Love from the Green Bay Packers. What are your thoughts on this one, Mohammed?
Um, I still think he's a bit higher than where I put him, but kind of close to where somewhere in the middle, like 14, 13, 14, somewhere around there. So I guess I'll take it. I'll take him at number 12.
Yeah, I'm fine with Jordan Love being here. I mean, he's not a top 10 quarterback. I think he was the top half of the league. He was pretty good. I think the Packers, him sitting for, what was it, 3 years behind Rodgers was really good.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I mean, didn't the Packers make the playoffs last year? I think they did. Yeah, they were the 7th seed, I believe.
I guess
So I'm fine with that, which kind of takes me off. The Broncos in a harder conference, still made the playoffs. They made the 7th seed too, and yet they got Jordan Love up here at 12. And Bo Nix is not nowhere near close yet, guys. And we're really going to get into that when we get to Bo Nix because that kind of ticks me off a little bit. I think, like I said, Geno Smith should not be higher than Bo Nix or Jordan Love, in my opinion. Next up, we got Baker Mayfield from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Muhammad, what are your thoughts on this?
um I guess I'm fine with it, Eddie. I would have put him maybe at 15 personally, or 16, something like this. But I guess I'm fine with it where they were, and the kind of play that he had, his passer rating and all that. So yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think 13 being for Baker Mayfield, like he literally had a career resurgence in, uh, Tampa Bay. I think it's good for him. I think Todd Bowles is good for him. They got a good offensive line. They got some solid weapons down there. Like I'm fine with Baker Mayfield being 13. I'm pretty sure they won the division last year. Granted, that division's horrible. The NFC South is terrible. You got the Saints who are in cap hell that literally don't know what they're doing. You got the Falcons who are trying to dig themselves out of the hole. I mean, now they got their future quarterback in Michael Penix there, and he's going to be starting this year. And at the same time, you also got the who's the other team in there? The Panthers, who Bryce Young got benched last year and came back and looked really good. So I think 13 is pretty good for Baker up there. He's going to be in the top half of the league for quarterbacks. So I'm fine with that. Next up, number 14, we have CJ Stroud. Now, I'm going to get into what I think, but what are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
He definitely struggled last season, Eddie. The O line wasn't as good. Um, Regressed from last season before. 14, I don't know, a bit high, I would say, for him, but not too far from where I would have put him. So I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, I think he's a little too high too. Now, that's not to say that's his fault. He really didn't have an offensive line last year, and his main weapon, I think Tank Dell or one of those guys, they got hurt and they were out for the season. So he didn't have his top weapon. His offensive line was atrocious.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did kind of take a step back from his rookie year. So I'm going to go ahead and say he's down a little farther. Like, once again, this is like, but also you got to throw like in, like I said, future trajectory. Like, what are these players going to do? And that's a big reason why I said Geno Smith should not be 10. The guy is 30 freaking 5. You got to take both of those. That's just what PFF is saying. They're saying based off last year, what they did last year, and their future trajectory, that's what we base these rankings off of. Really? You're going to put Geno Smith at 10? He didn't have a great year last year, and he's 35. You got him ahead of likes of Jordan Love, Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, hell, even Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield's like, what, 27, 28? He's still got a few years left. Like, these rankings just don't make sense to me. And we talked about it at the beginning. Mahomes should not be number one. Like, yes, he's only, I think he's 30. He's still probably got a few good years left. But Josh Allen's younger, Lamar Jackson's younger, Joe Burrow's younger, and yet these guys are, they got more years left in their career, and they had better seasons last year. So how is Patrick Mahomes number one? It doesn't make sense to me. They think that Andy Reid's going to be there forever, which he's not going to be. We talked about it last week. He's flirting with retirement. Same with Kelsey. I guarantee you both of them, if they don't make the Super Bowl this year, they're going to retire. I will put money on that.
That's going to be a Super Bowl for me, Eddie, if they both retire.
Oh, it's going to happen. Kelsey, I'm surprised didn't. Like, he should have retired already. Andy Reid, I can get him being around for at least one more year, but if they don't make the Super Bowl, which I don't even have them making the playoffs this year, the Chiefs, like, I think they're going to, they're barely just going to miss out on it. They'll probably be like 8th or 9th seed, and that's really going to cause Andy Reid and Travis Kelsey to hang them up. Next up, Kyler Murray. What are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
That's Russell Wilson Jr. for you right there. Too high. I'm sorry, Eddie, too high. He can't see the field, and I don't know, Eddie. Like, it's, and I agree with you what you said earlier about they're probably gonna need a quarterback in pretty soon, next few years. But yeah, I think it's too high. They didn't even make the playoff, did they?
No. They might have made the playoffs once in his career. It was years ago, though. I think they might have squeaked in, but I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's ranked too high. I'll probably put him somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, once again, like I said, I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray is going to be 29 years old this year. Usually, like, what's the main thing we see in the NFL, Mohammed? Like, once a player hits like 30, regardless of the position, pass rusher, receiver, running back, especially quarterbacks and offensive linemen, usually they can go into their 30s, like their early to mid 30s. They usually can maybe play that long. It's just depending, especially for quarterbacks. Like, Tom Brady played until he was 45. Aaron Rodgers is playing until, he's past 40. Matthew Stafford, he's 37? You got to have good offensive lines. The Cardinals really haven't had great offensive lines, and Kyler Murray's like another Russell Wilson. He kind of runs himself into sacks. He's a little guy, and he gets beat up a lot. And once you hit 30, that athleticism, like, it's been like, if you go through history and look at quarterbacks over the age of 30 that usually use their legs and their athleticism, they tend to dip. Not horribly, but they start losing athleticism and starting to dip about the age of 30. Like, I'd say Kyler Murray's got maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 years at best left with his athleticism, to where he's not going to be able to run out of the pocket anymore, outrun DNs. Like, granted, Russ was a little older, but these DNs are drafting out of college. They're so much faster than what they used to be.
Yep.
Like, you're in like 3 years, you're going to see Kyler Murray out there trying to run away from these DNs, and they're just going to run him down. So I don't think his future trajectory is that much to look at. Maybe if he was 25, 26, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But the fact that his numbers were not great last year and he's already 29, his athleticism, I think, is going to start dipping here in the next year or two. He's too high. I agree with you, Muhammad. He needs to be in the 20s somewhere, honestly. So, but next up, we have at number 16, Trevor Lawrence. Now, this one I'll get into, but what are your thoughts on this initially, Muhammad?
I always had like mixed feelings when it comes to Trevor Lawrence. I think he's okay. I thought maybe coaching didn't help him. I don't know, maybe he hit the ceiling already, but I wouldn't have ranked him over here. I think that's too high. Same as Kyler Murray, maybe somewhere in the 20s, but not. No, he's like too close to half, like mid as far as the quarterbacks. So I wouldn't rank him this high. I'll put him somewhere in the 20s.
I would put him probably in like the farther down, not farther down, but a little farther down, probably like 19, 20. Like Trevor Lawrence has been in the league for since when? Since what was it? 2021, I think he got drafted. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going into his 5th year. He's already got the big money. He already got paid last offseason. And you can say here, like his future trajectory, I think he's only like 26. So he has a few more years. But dude, you had a Super Bowl winning head coach.
Yep.
And freaking Doug Peterson. You had weapons. You had a run game. You had a tight end who's now in Denver, by the way, Ingram. You had a good defense. Like you were supposed to, not last year, but CJ Stroud's rookie year, the year that he went off. Now, we can sit there and debate on that, but the Jags were favored to win that division. CJ Stroud's first year, I think, was it 2023? They were favored to win the division. The Jags were. They should have won that division. They had the better roster. And honestly, at the time, at the start of the season, a better quarterback, a Super Bowl winning head coach, and here you all got the Texans over here with DeMeco Ryans, a rookie defensive-minded head coach, a rookie quarterback, and you just couldn't hang with them. Like towards the end, like as the season progressed, the Texans were getting better and better. But now that was because of C.J. Stroud's freak year. It was a rookie year, but like Trevor Lawrence, he still got the.
I mean, they got him Travis Hunter now, so that's his chance.
Yeah,
I mean, they're doing
once
it.
again, this is based off what they did last season and future trajectory. Like maybe the future trajectory, if he's only, I think he's like 26, 25, he's still got like 4 or 5 years left, until he hits that 30 mark. But like I said, sometimes quarterbacks, especially taller quarterbacks, they can go into like their early to mid 30s. So he's probably got a good 10 years. But I still think he's ranked too high for what he has accomplished, especially last year. You had Doug Peterson, you had a good run game, you had receivers, you had weapons, and you still couldn't get it done. So I think he's ranked a little too high, personally. Next up at number 17, I forgot who's here, is Dak Prescott. This to me is just absurd. But what are your thoughts, Mohammed?
I mean, the guy, how many games did he actually play before getting hurt, Eddie? This does not make any sense. Yeah, I mean, Dak, I probably put him at 23, 24, honestly, if not lower than that. And if we're talking about last season, he got hurt. He didn't play that much. I know they gave him a contract. I don't know why they did. But yeah, that's definitely too high.
Yeah, too high for that. I think he only played like at the max maybe 5 games last year for a year. I don't think it was 5. It might have been 3 or 4. And don't get me wrong, when Dak's healthy and he plays the whole regular season, he's a great regular season quarterback. Like if he would play the whole season last year, I can maybe justify this. But the fact that he didn't play the whole season, the guy's over 30. Is once again, he might, and this is already 2 gruesome season-ending injuries that he's had in his career. Like if he comes back next year, I don't even think he's gonna be the same player. He already broke his leg once, and what happened to him last year? He snapped his ACL or something. I can't remember what injury he had last year.
And they paid him. They went ahead and paid him.
Yeah, they paid him. He's the highest paid quarterback in the league right now. And I'm sorry, dude. No, he's way too freaking high. He should be in like the mid to late 20s. He didn't play at all last season, and he's already over 30. Like he might have a couple of good years left, and that's if he comes back the same player. Like I said, he's had 2 gruesome injuries in his career that ended his season. Dude, no. Dak Prescott should not be 17 by any stretch of the imagination here. maybe mid to late 20s, I would say. I mean, that could change next year. If he comes out, he looks like the old Dak from like 2016, 17, 18, and the injury hasn't affected him and he puts up the numbers. But other than that, no, I had to pass on this. This is wildly incorrect.
And he's coming to Denver too. Good luck.
Yeah, we're going to kill him. This defense is going to destroy him. Next up, Tua Tagovailoa. I can't even say his name right. But, Muhammad, what are your thoughts on this?
Tua, I don't know. I don't think they played that well last season, Eddie. They were, and no, I think that's too high. Somewhere in the 20s too. I wouldn't put him at 18. I understand what kind of quarterback he is, but from what I saw last season, I wouldn't put him at 18. Maybe 21, 22, something like that. What do you think, Eddie? He's
way too high. I put him at like 26, 27. Like, he didn't have a great year. And think about the weapons he has and the coach. He has Mike McDaniel, a coach that came from the Shanahan tree. He's got Tyreek Hill. He's got Jalen Waddle. He had a great run game. He had a good offensive line. Like, he had all these things. He had a good defense out there. Like 2 years ago, he had freaking Vic Fangio there, and they still couldn't do anything. They missed the playoffs last year. Tua, yes, he's still young, his future trajectory, but his future trajectory could be in jeopardy. This kid gets one more concussion because he doesn't know how to freaking slide. His career is over.
Yep.
So I can't really give him the future trajectory standpoint on this either, because if he goes out there week 1 or week 2 this year and he gets his block knocked off again, that's probably the end of his career. And from what I've seen, Mike McDaniel or whatever his last name is, he's on the hot seat this year in 2025. Like, he's had this great roster over the last couple of years, and they still can't get nothing done.
Tyreek Hill already was talking about wanted a trade and all this. I don't see anybody trading for him, but I don't know. They kept
he's 30 years old. His speed's going to start to diminish here in like the next year or two. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it diminishes this year. He's 30 or 31. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, Tua is way too high on this. He needs to be in like the mid to late 20s too. So up next, we got, and I already know who it is, but I want to show you on the screen first. Bo Nix from the Denver Broncos. I got a lot to say, but Muhammad, what is your reaction to this?
So initially when I saw this, Eddie, I mean, okay, I understand Bo Nix is a rookie. It was his first season with the Broncos. But I mean, looking at what he did, what he was able to accomplish, and then you're comparing, you're seeing where they have, that's my problem, where they have Jaden Daniels ranked at 6. Really? I mean, they were like both for the, he was on talk for Rookie of the Year. I mean, Offensive Player of the Year, right? Why are you putting him at 19? And that's what I don't understand about this list, Eddie. It just does not make any sense. I mean, I know they have an issue with the Broncos, but that's not fair. I think, okay, I'm not saying Bo Nix should have been a top 10, but he should have been way higher than this. 11, 12, 13, I would have taken it. But 19, come on,
This is way too freaking low. And this is not me being a homer. It's way too low. Because if I'm looking at it right now, he outplayed Justin Herbert last year. Justin Herbert's at number 8. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs game when we went to Kansas City. I'm not saying he should be higher than Mahomes, but he outplayed him in that game. He outplayed Justin Herbert in 2 games. Jared Goff, I mean, like I said, that was more of a run-first team. Like, the faith in, everything that Sean Payton had in this rookie quarterback, like, and the fact that this kid had no run game, no tight end one, and receivers were dropping balls, like, I'm sorry. To me, Bo Nix should have been ranked probably 8th in the NFL. They should have been ranked 8th in the NFL. Like, this is ridiculous. He's below freaking Justin Herbert, who I played, Jared Goff, who was a run-first team, basically, Geno freaking Smith, which really irritates me. Brock Purdy, who did not put a team on his back at all, and he gets all that money. Jordan Love, okay, maybe Jordan Love, like I said, he should be a little higher, whatever. Baker Mayfield, okay, I can understand that one. CJ Stroud, Like, he had a horrible sophomore year. They still have a lot of playing time in their careers, Bo Nix and CJ Stroud. But last year he had better numbers than CJ Stroud. He was the second ranked rookie. He had the most touchdowns by a rookie other than Justin Herbert did whenever he was younger. But that was like what, 5 years ago? He's better than Kyler Murray's better than him? I don't think so. Trevor Lawrence, with the way he played and the way he's looked with the offensive-minded Super Bowl winning head coach and Doug Peterson, Bo Nix looked better in his rookie year. Dak Prescott, please. Tua, no. Like, he should be top 10. Bo Nix should be top 10, at least. Maybe not 8. If you want to argue not 8, fine. But at the very least, 10. Like, all these quarterbacks I just mentioned, like, if you reshuffled this list and put Baker Mayfield ahead of him, you put, who was the other one? Jordan Love maybe ahead of him. Bo Nix should be at least at the latest number 10. This list does not make any sense to me. He was second rookie of the year voting. He had he had the most touchdowns from a rookie quarterback since Justin Herbert. I think he had like 32. Bo Nix had 29. And that's not even if you count, the rushing touchdowns. His trajectory is going to look really good. He's only 25. He's still got 5 years before he hits that 30 mark. And as we seen last year with his progression, man, he started off horribly. I'm not going to deny that. Weeks 1 and 2 last year against the Seahawks and Steelers, he had rough games. But every week from that point, he progressed. He got better. He got better. He got better. He got better. That doesn't account for anything? You're telling me in year 2 with Sean Payton, he's not going to get better?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
This is just wild to me. This does not make any damn sense. Bo Nix, at the very least, should be a top 10 quarterback. You could argue maybe 10 to 15, but there's no way he's worse than Tua, Dak, Kyler Murray, who else did I say? Fucking Geno Smith. There's no way he's worse than these quarterbacks, dude. There's no way. And the fact that you don't think he has a better career trajectory than Geno Smith or Dak Prescott, who are already over 30? Like, really? Like, that's just embarrassing to me. It really is. But I'm done with my rant. Let's move on. Next up, we got Bryce Young at 20. What are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
I understand why they have him ranked there. He definitely played better after he was benched when they brought him back. I think he's gonna look a lot better this season. But yeah, I wouldn't disagree with where they have him ranked at.
Yeah, I think maybe he's a little too high. I'd say maybe 22, 23. He did have, he got benched last year, let's not forget. I mean, he does have a really good, bright future, depending on how his coach is and what happens with the Panthers after the season, if their head coach gets fired. But he got benched, and he came back, and he looked really, really good. That's just the nature of the beast. I think he came back, and he played well against the Broncos defense last year. Granted, they lost that game because our defense was way too good. But you saw, Bryce Young's decision-making. You saw his, him, playing the game. You saw him getting better starting in that Broncos game. After that, man, he started playing really, really well. So I would still put him down probably about 22, 23, but I'm not going to argue if they put him at 20 because I forgot who the last ones are on this list, to be honest with you. I had to look at the rest. But moving on to number 21, which this is just ridiculous to me, J.J. McCarthy. What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, Eddie, I'm it doesn't make sense. I think he should be ranked last and not anything about his talent or anything. But I mean, he didn't really play. He got hurt. I mean, it was sad, right? For us to see that happening to him. But I mean, the kid didn't even play. So he's ranked 21 and not too far from Bo Nix, really. So if he had played a few games, they would have ranked him higher than Bo Nix. It doesn't make sense, Eddie. I would put him at 32, honestly. Simply because of the fact that he did not play. We don't know what we're going to get.
Yeah, and once again, like I said, this is based off future trajectory and what they did last season. He got hurt in the preseason. He didn't play a single regular season snap.
Yeah.
And honestly, based on stuff I've seen and read, I think him and I can't remember who the other quarterback is there in Minnesota right now, but they're talking about there being a quarterback competition. I'm like, really? I mean, maybe that's just talk, but if JJ McCarthy is ready, they need to start him and let him play and get some reps this year. Um, I mean, we even know that the Vikings wanted to keep Sam Darnold. They wanted to keep him. So honestly, what's that tell you what they think about JJ? Is it, I mean, I don't think that means they think, oh, JJ is not going to be the guy of the future. Maybe his injury is not going to be, maybe he won't be ready to go because of his injury by the start of the season. So they were trying to keep Sam Darnold. I've heard, swirls of a quarterback, battle going on there. And I don't think really it's a battle. I think it's more they just say that. I just don't know if they think JJ is going to be ready for the start of the season. So he's ranked way too high. I would say at the highest, maybe 30. And that's being generous, honestly. And it's like, once again, like you said, Muhammad, it's not because we don't think this kid can't play. We honestly don't know. He did not play a single snap in the regular season last year. So you cannot rank him above. Honestly, Drake May, Michael Penix. Yeah, they didn't play much last year, but they played regular season games and they looked good.
Exactly. They should.
Now, that's still, that's still not a very big sample size, but at least they got to play NFL snaps and they looked well in those NFL snaps. JJ hasn't played a single one. And him being 21, like you said, if he would have played like 2 or 3 games last year and had just fairly decent games, he would be ranked above Bo Nix, who almost won Offensive Rookie of the Year. So no, this is ridiculous. This ain't me hating on McCarthy because I can't wait to watch him play this year if he does play. But this is just these rankings, once again, absolutely make no goddamn sense. None. Zero. So moving on. Next up, we got Drake May. We just talked about kind of. What are your thoughts on Drake May being 22?
He like when he actually played, Eddie, he looked the part. He looked pretty good. I don't think he's ranked too low, but I would have an issue, like we just saying, that you're having him on. You have JJ McCarthy above him when he did not even play. So that would be my only issue. But he did look good when he actually came out. So I think he has a good future. So I don't have a problem with him being ranked that high. I mean, 22.
Yeah, Drake May, like I said, he played a few games last year and he looked relatively well, and he had no offensive line. His head coach, like I'm not going to speak bad on the Patriots head coach from last year, Gerard Mayo, but they actually have a real coach now in Mike Vrabel there. They kind of, built the offensive line a little bit, and I think Drake May is going to be better in year 2, but he should definitely be higher than, I would say, at least JJ freaking McCarthy on this list. Honestly, he should be. That's just flat out sad and ridiculous to me. So, excuse me. But moving on to the next one, 23 is Michael Penix Jr. What are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
Same as Drake May. I don't have a problem with where they have him ranked. The games that he played, he looked pretty good. Michael Penix is actually a quarterback that I liked for the Broncos. Last season coming out, I thought he was a pretty good quarterback. So yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I think his 23 is fine.
Again, I think he should be a little higher on this list. I think it should be Drake May 21, Michael Penix 22. Like they both played, I think like each 5 games, or one maybe played one more than the other, but they played towards the end of the season. They both looked really, really good last year. So yeah, like I'm sorry, but these two being ranked above Michael Penix is just, I'm sorry, above below JJ McCarthy is just absurd to me. So, but moving on to the next one. At 24 is Caleb Williams from the Chicago Bears. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, Eddie. Like I honestly think that he did not play well. They have issues, a lot of issues there. I don't say it's entirely his fault. They got a real coach now. It's going to be a better season for him. I think he's kind of ranked low, Eddie. I would have put him a little bit higher, in my opinion, than 24. It'd still be in the 20s, but it'll be a little bit higher. What do you think?
I would put him probably right around 20, honestly. Like, yeah, he didn't have a great season, but he did have a couple of nice plays last year. He's got the upside. He just had a buffoon head coach and Matty Eberflus. Now he's got Ben Johnson. The future looks bright for them. And the guy's only, I think, 23? So I put him probably about 21, 22. I'm sorry, 20 to 21 is where I put Caleb Williams. I give him that because he's still a number one overall pick. He's got a really bright future ahead of him. And I think last year he had a couple of decent plays. So that's my thoughts on that. Next up is Cam Ward from the Tennessee Titans, which to me, this doesn't make any sense. But what do you think, Mohammed?
Yeah, I agree with you, Eddie. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, he should be way lower, in my opinion. I wouldn't put him this high.
Well, if you take into the fact that if JJ McCarthy should be really low, even though he's got, the coach, he's got a good roster around him. He played 0 snaps in the NFL last year. Cam Ward hasn't taken a single snap. He just got drafted. He's higher than some other starters who've been in the league for a few years. Like, this is where I think Cam Ward should be ranked 32. Like, if you told me right now, I probably put like Cam Ward 32, and I put JJ at 31. Yeah, that's where I put. And look, again, this ain't me hating on them. It's just they haven't proven anything in the NFL yet. They both have, I'm sure, bright futures. Maybe, well, Cam Ward, I can't really say because we don't know if Ben Johnson, or not Ben Johnson, Callahan's going to be there next year. The Titans just roster in general is just complete and utter trash. Like, this kid is going to get destroyed this year. Hopefully he makes it through the season. But, like, the Titans got a lot of stuff to do with this roster.
I feel bad for the kid. Week 1? Which defense is he going against?
You're arguably going against the best defense in the league this year.
It's going to be
on the road.
Like they'd be like, welcome to the NFL.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful we get an easy game week 1 here at home against the rookie quarterback with not a great roster. That's going to be a great boost of confidence for the Broncos. But, man, I feel that's a rough start for Cam Ward's career, dude. It really, really is. But, like, I'm not going to sit here and say it was worse for Bo Nix last year, but we had to play a Mike McDonald defense last year up in Seattle. That defense, it wasn't like top tier, but it was still a damn good defense. Bo Nix's first game on the road in Seattle in a hostile environment against the Mike McDonald defense that was actually really, really good. Like, his system is really, really good. And Bo Nix struggled. Like, he threw, 2 interceptions, I think, in that game, and he ran one in. So Bo Nix had it. Hopefully Cam Ward can maybe have the same kind of trajectory as Bo Nix did in his rookie year. But I doubt it. Because at least the Broncos had a top-tier defense. They had okay weapons. They didn't have a run game or tight end, but they had one of the best offensive lines in the game. They had a top-tier defense. The Titans don't have none of that. Like, I would not be surprised if this entire year Cam Ward and the Titans don't win a single game.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. Like, I would be more hesitant to say that if they actually had some pieces on this roster. Like, they had maybe a corner one. Maybe they had some good pass rushers. Maybe they had a solid offensive line or a decent weapon. Like, they got Calvin Ridley, but the guy's old, and honestly, I don't think he's that great.
Eddie, it might be a good thing for them if they get the first overall pick again, because a lot of teams will be trying to get that pick, so they can get some picks and build that team.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if I get number 1 overall pick again next year, if I was the Titans, I would trade back and stockpile picks and really build this roster. Yeah, you need as much young talent on this team as you could possibly get to build for the future.
Absolutely.
Because right now, I can tell you, high-end free agents are not going to want to come to the Tennessee Titans next year.
Nope.
That could change depending on what they do at head coach next year if Callahan gets fired. But, I don't know, man. Titans are in a rough spot. But Cam Ward being at 25, that's just wild to me. Next up at 26, you got Sam Darnold. This seems a little bit disrespectful in my opinion, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you, Eddie. He should have been way higher. He played really well for the Vikings, so I don't know what to say, Eddie. It doesn't make any. So JJ McCarthy is better than Sam Darnold? Oh my God! I just thought of this. Geno Smith is better than him? I don't. I'm lost for words, Eddie. I don't know what they're doing. Like, how
Well,
is
that's the thing. Sam Darnold had a career year. Now, you can sit there and say Sam Darnold had bad years before, but he had a career year last year. He's 27, so he's still got 3 years until he's 30. Like, I would at least put him in the bottom of the teens, like 19, 20, right where or 19 or 18, right where Bo Nix and Tua are at. That's where I would put at least Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, come on, man. This is just flat out disrespect.
it's
He's
ridiculous.
worse than JJ McCarthy. He's worse than Cam Ward. 2 guys have never taken a snap in the NFL. Like, that makes zero damn sense. Zero.
I'm
God,
tempted
PFF,
to.
get your shit together.
Yeah, I'm tempted to send him an email saying, "Hey, this doesn't make any sense. Please explain this to me."
I'm not even a Seahawks fan. I'm not a freaking Vikings fan.
Nope.
I'm not a Titans fan. I'm not none of these fan bases fans, dude, but you got this royally screwed up, dude.
They sure did.
So, but going off of that, at 27, we got Russell. What are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
Maybe no, I wouldn't say that. I guess it's okay, Eddie. 27, that's okay. I wouldn't. I was gonna say something mean, but that's fine.
I'll say it. He should be 30th. He's 36. Russell Wilson is reliable, and this is not me hating on Russ. I think he's a great guy, but his football career is over. You said it last year, Mohammed. The guy just needs to freaking retire. He's done.
He was retired 2 years ago.
His athleticism has dipped. He's 36. His athleticism is gone. He can't outrun DNs anymore. And honestly, he can't read the middle of the field. He never has. And his career trajectory, come on. He's 30 freaking 6. This guy is not he should retire now. He shouldn't even be playing in the NFL.
Gonna get himself hurt for no reason. Just retire, enjoy yourself.
So,
Get the money.
I would only put him above Cam Ward and JJ McCarthy. Once again, only because they didn't take any snaps in the NFL. Like, oh my God, dude, this list makes no damn sense. Moving on before I really blow a freaking gasket here. Next up, we got Justin Fields for the New York Jets. What, Mohammed, what are your thoughts?
I think his rank really low. I don't think that's fair for him. I thought he was decent last season. You know, when he came in. I mean, come on, that doesn't make any sense.
So basically, what PFF is saying here, in my freaking humble opinion, just like the Steelers said last year, which they're both freaking idiots in my opinion, you would take an old washed up Wilson rather than a young Russell Wilson. Basically, this is what you're doing here.
That's exactly what they're saying.
Justin Fields is a younger version of Russell Wilson, but he's taller. At least he's taller. He can see over the offensive line. But what's Justin Fields done for? Running, his athleticism, getting outside the pocket, making throws downfield. You're literally saying I would take a 36-year-old Russell Wilson over, what is Justin Fields, like 26?
He's young. He's pretty young.
What the hell is wrong with these people? Like, dude, you better hope these guys never own an NFL team because they would not be able to build a roster to save their damn lives.
Nope.
This is embarrassing. I'm not saying Justin Fields needs to be like 15th, but come on, he's at least got to be higher than Russell freaking Wilson,
Really
dude.
close to the bottom. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Like, he had better numbers than Russell last year, even though he only played, like, what was it, 6 games? If you break down 6-game samples, he had better numbers than Russ, and he has a better career trajectory because he's only 26.
Pretty sad.
God. I'm sorry. People at PFF are freaking morons. I can do this job better than they can. Oh, I better move on. Like, oh, I'm going to blow a gasket. I got to go. Next up, 29, Joe Flacco. What are your thoughts on this one, Mohammed?
I like Flacco. Why they got to do Flacco like that? It makes sense, Eddie. I wouldn't fight it. I would not fight it. I mean, he's just a backup. You know, he's just making money. Basically, he goes to teams and stuff. He's still got the arm. He can still play a little bit, but I wouldn't argue with this.
Well, here's my thing. Everybody's picking Joe Flacco to be the starter with the Cleveland Browns. Like, it's possible, but it's not locked in. Like, if Shador or Dylan Gabriel flash in camp and preseason, like, start the rookies, dude. Like, you're going to be bad this year anyway. Like, the Browns ain't winning nothing, especially in that division. They're not winning crap. I would just start the rookies if they look good in training camp and preseason. And even Kenny Pickett, like people say Kenny Pickett's trash. I'm like, dude, Joe Flacco is 40. Yes, I understand 2 years ago he won comeback player of the year, but he's 40. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm fine with Joe Flacco being at 29, but I just don't think he's going to be the starter come week 1. A lot of people do. I don't think he will be.
Honestly, Eddie,
If I had to guess,
I think they probably will start Joe Flacco maybe for 3 or 4 games, and then Shador, it would make sense for Shador.
I don't think so. I think it's either going to be Kenny Pickett or Shador Sanders start week 1 for the Browns.
Okay.
I think what's going to happen is Shador is going to, like, we know Shador, the whole reason why he got to the 5th round wasn't because of his talent. It wasn't because it was his attitude. And if he goes out there in training camp and preseason, we see it on if we see it on TV or the people at Browns training camp see Shador's just lighting it up. He's outplaying everybody. How in your right mind can you sit there and say you're going to start Joe Flacco? Sanders looks better. How? But once again, I'm not mad about the ranking for Joe Flacco. I think it's perfectly fine. It's just I don't think he's going to be the week 1 starter for the Browns. I really don't. Maybe I'm one of a few, but I don't think it's going to happen. Personally, I think Shador's going to go out there, light it up, and he's going to be the week 1 starter, in my opinion. Up next is the 30th best. Oh, let's see, Anthony Richardson. What are your thoughts on this?
He definitely has his issues. He struggled and stuff. He was benched, wasn't he? Hey? He got benched.
I think so because Joe Flacco played a little bit last year.
Yeah. I honestly think somewhere in there, maybe that's pretty low. He's decent. I wouldn't say he's like just like horrible or anything, but where are they going to put him? Right? I mean, 30. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. 30 for Anthony Richardson because literally, honestly, Muhammad, I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Jones wins the starting role because there's going to be a QB battle there in Indianapolis between Richardson and Daniel Jones. And if he can't beat out Daniel Jones, man, holy crap, his career is over. His career is over. I mean, there might be another team that gives him a chance, but if you get beat out by Daniel Jones, dude, just pack it up. But I think, what is it, 30th is fine for Anthony Richardson. Next up, we got Mason Rudolph at 31. This one I'm also fine with. What are your thoughts, Mohammed?
Same. He's not, he could be 32 for all I care. But yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Like I think he should be a tad bit higher. I think Anthony Richardson be like 29. Rudolph would be 30th. Actually, no, I put Anthony Richardson at 28, Mason Rudolph at 29, because the last 3 spots should be like number 32 right here, New Orleans Saints quarterback Tyler Shuck, I think his name is. Him, JJ, and Cam Ward all should be like 30, 31, 32. Now, however you want to rate those 3, fine, whatever. But those 3 all should be the bottom 3 in the NFL because they literally haven't taken a snap in the NFL. And honestly, I don't know if Shuck is going to be the starter for New Orleans. It could be freaking Spencer Rattler. So, like, Anthony Richardson, I think, should be honestly maybe a little higher, considering the fact that you got 3 quarterbacks that are in the NFL right now that have never taken a snap in an NFL game. Those should be 30, 31, and 32. What are your thoughts, Mohammed?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense for any quarterback that did not even play a snap for them to be ranked higher than that. I mean, they should have been on the bottom, all of them. And like you said, it doesn't matter where you rank them. I mean, it could be depending on what do you think they might do next season. But yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. So, but let us know what you guys think about our quarterback rankings, what your guys' quarterback rankings are. Next, we're going to get into week 1 and a few other things that we need to get out of here because we're already over an hour. I didn't think we'd be going this long, honestly. But before we do that, got a couple of chats here. It says, Biggie, Bronco, is how everybody doing today? We're doing good, man. Just
So
wait for the
maybe
season. Can't wait for it. So, appreciate it. How are you doing today, man? Let us know in the comments. Another one from Big E Bronco. He says Sanders can't get out of his own way because the starter for the Browns, he don't want to take time to learn the playbook, and he thinks it's a privilege. I doubt very seriously he's a starter. It's possible, like his attitude could get in the way. I just feel like the Browns really have nothing to lose. Like if he shows out in camp and preseason, and people, on TV see it, like how can you justify not starting Shador? Like your whole organization's a joke. Like you literally hired a sexual predator as your QB and traded all these picks and gave him all this money. Like, is Shador really that bad with his attitude? That's just my opinion. Muhammad, what about you?
Yeah, I honestly think Shador, like all these things being said around him, if it's true or not, we don't really know. I mean, it's what's been said, so there might be some truth to it. I honestly think he's been humbled. I don't think he'll be an issue anymore. It doesn't feel like. I've seen a couple of interviews with him. I think he's been like humbled. He's kind of focused on the game and stuff. So yeah, I think if the Browns are smart, this is going to be the face of their organization, and they should just build around him. And they got him on the 5th round. I mean, come on, can't ask for a better discount.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, if he shows out, you got to play him. Like, this Browns team ain't doing crap this year anyway, so I would just start him to give him reps, and you can work on his personality throughout the season, and hopefully be ready to go by 2026. But next up, we got our week 1 predictions. Me and Muhammad's week 1 predictions. So, let's see. I forgot which game starts off the season. I think it's the
Eagles,
no,
Cowboys.
it's not. It's the Eagles. Yeah, Eagles and Cowboys. I mean, we can go by like that, or we just go straight down the list. I think we should just go straight down the list, honestly.
Okay.
But week 1, I believe this game is. I can't remember where it's at. I know it's not in America. Is it in Brazil? I think.
It's overseas somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but you got the Chiefs at the Chargers. Muhammad, who you taking in this game, buddy?
I'll take the Chargers.
Yeah, same. The Chiefs, I think they're have the Super Bowl hangover. Kelsey's old and washed, and the offensive line's still a problem. The defense is aging. Andy Reid seems like he doesn't. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't want to coach. I just don't think he's got much more left in him. So I'm going with the Chargers week 1 personally myself. So, all right. Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Jets. What do you think about this game, Mohammed?
I'll pick the Jets. The Steelers, I don't know what they're doing. I think they're waiting for Aaron Rodgers, and their quarterback situation is very shaky to me. So I'll pick the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going with you on this one too. Like, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers signs, it might make a difference. I don't think it will. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers is done. I think he just needs to hang him up. Yeah, there was a lot of problems last year in New York, and honestly, even with all the drama that Aaron Rodgers started, his play just did not look great to me. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Jets here too. They both have really good defenses. I think the Steelers are better, but I just feel like the Jets. I don't know if the Steelers are going to wait around forever for Aaron Rodgers. But I think Justin Fields will outplay Aaron Rodgers because he's got the mobility to do so. So I'll go with Jets too. Next up, Dolphins at Colts. Who you got here, Mohammed?
I don't know who the Colts are gonna start, Eddie, but I probably would go with the Dolphins. At least I know who the quarterback's gonna be, with the coach and everything. They're more
Yeah.
stable. So I'll probably go with the Dolphins.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins too. I trust Tua. I trust their head coach McDaniel more than I trust Shane Steichen or whoever's starting for the Colts. And honestly, don't get me wrong, the Colts have a good roster, but the Dolphins do too. So I just feel like the Dolphins are going to take this one here, week 1. Next up, Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns.
I'm definitely going with the Bengals. Browns still doing what they're doing. They got all these quarterbacks. They're undecided. Rebuilding all this crap. So definitely the Bengals.
Same. I'm going with the Bengals here too. The Browns, like I said, I think it's going to be at least until next year, whenever they finally figure out who their quarterback is, and to get their stuff going. Next up, you got the Oakland, or why did I say Oakland? The Las Vegas Raiders at the New England Patriots. Who do you got here, Mohammed?
You know, Eddie, Oakland, Vegas, they suck anyway. It doesn't matter, right? Um, I would probably go. I'll go with the Patriots. I'm a little biased, but I honestly think with their new head coach and stuff, I mean, it could go either way, honestly. But I'm going with the Patriots. I think they're probably cool.
Yeah, I agree. Like, the Raiders, I think Pete Carroll's going to make the Raiders better this year. I've said this before. I think they will make them better. Geno Smith and Pete Carroll together, they're always good together. They got Genty, they got Brock Bowers, but other than that, it's like and Max Crosby. I'm like, their defense is atrocious. They have no offensive line. The Patriots went out and spent a lot of money this year in free agency. They have their franchise guy. They're at home. Mike Vrabel back with New England. I can't go against New England here. I have to take them. Next up, this one's a slam dunk for me. But what do you think, Mohammed?
Should take a moment, Eddie, for the Titans, right? Definitely the Broncos. The Titans, I mean, they're rebuilding. They got a rookie quarterback. I really feel bad for them. This is going to be a piece of cake for the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Cam Ward's first start on the road as a rookie, going up against this Broncos defense that's really going to be really, really good this year. Mile High, dude. Oh my God, I feel so bad for freaking Cam Ward, dude. The kid's going to get destroyed. Hopefully, we don't destroy him bad enough where he tries to rethink his life decisions about joining the NFL and the Titans. But, I'm going with the Broncos here too. Next up, you got the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. Who do you got in this one, Mohammed? This should be a good game.
Yeah, it honestly, Eddie, it could go either way. I just have a feeling the Bills going to win. I don't know why, but I'll pick the Bills.
I think this is where we first disagree. I think Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, they get revenge from I think it was a divisional round last year where the Buffalo Bills beat them. So I got the Ravens winning this one, but I would not be surprised.
Is it a Sunday night game? That would be awesome.
I think so. Or is it Monday night? It might be a Monday night. Oh no, it's Sunday. Yeah. Never mind. My bad. But I mean, could the Bills win? Yeah, so I'll say the Bills, even though I think the Ravens are going to win it, but that's just my personal opinion. I think the Ravens get revenge there. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Jaguars. Who you got in this one, Mohammed?
I'll probably go with the Jaguars, Eddie. Panthers, yeah, I'll go with the Jaguars. I think they'll probably be a bit better than the Panthers.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Panthers, but I think the Jaguars with Travis Hunter, I think they're gonna probably do it. I just don't like what the Panthers are doing, and honestly, I feel like Bryce Young doesn't come out and start the season the way he ended last season. I think we're gonna be seeing a new head coach in freaking Charlotte again. Next up, you got the Texans at the Rams. Who do you got in this one, Mohammed?
It's a bit tough for me, Eddie. I go with the Texans. I think they're going to be better this season. It's going to be better than last season. So
I gotta disagree, and this time I'm going with my gut feeling. I think the Rams are going to destroy them.
Rams. Okay.
The reason why is because what have they done, the Texans, to secure their offensive line?
They really haven't done much.
I think they drafted a guy in the first round, offensive lineman, but I just feel like Jalen Verse and that Rams defense is always good. I just feel like the Rams being at home, I think the Rams are going to take the Texans here. I think they fall to 1-0, and I think the Rams take it. This one I think we both can agree on. Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles, obviously.
Yeah. Super Bowl champs, opening night, NFL week 1, game 1. Like, they're going to be lowering the banner, probably getting the rings there. I'm going to say the Eagles too. Next up, Arizona Cardinals at the New Orleans Saints.
That's a tough one. Honestly, could go either way. I'll go with Kyler Murray. I think I don't know who the Saints going to start. If they're going to start their rookie quarterback, Carr retired, so I'll probably go with the Cardinals. I think they'll be able to beat the Saints week 1.
I agree with you. I think the Cardinals are going to take it. Rookie quarterback starting his first game. The Saints, all their vets are getting older. And honestly, I've been hearing rumors about Chris Olave getting traded. So if that happens, dude, the Saints are no, I can't even say, but yeah, I'm going Cardinals here too. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons.
I think I'll pick the Buccaneers. Is so the Falcons are going to start Phoenix, Eddie? Is that who they starting? Or we don't
Yeah,
know?
they're gonna start Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pick the Buccaneers here. Week 1.
I think personally this game can go either way. I'm leaning more towards Falcons, but I could see an upset here from well, not really an upset, but I could see the Buccaneers taking it too. So I'll side with that one. Next up, you got the Giants at the Commanders.
Yeah, definitely the Commanders.
Oh, come on, man. The Giants are going to take this. They're going to blow the Commanders. I can't even say
right.
it was
Yeah, right.
so, but yeah, I got the Commanders too. 49ers and Seahawks. I think this is actually going to be a really good game. Brock Purdy's first game with his new contract extension with all the pieces that walked this year. And then you got the Seahawks who brought in Sam Darnold and still have the same defense basically and lost DK Metcalf too. Who do you got in this game?
I pick the Seahawks.
Me and you think alike on this one. I take the Seahawks too. You don't have Debo no more. Christian McCaffrey, you know he's going to be. George Kittle's getting older. You lost a lot of pieces on defense. You lost pieces on offense. I don't trust the 49ers this year. I think the Seahawks take this one too. Let's see. Next up, you got the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Who do you got in this one?
That's going to be a good game, Eddie. I pick the Lions. I think with their defense.
I'm hesitant. I'm hesitant only because the Lions are going to have 2 new coordinators. And is Aiden Hutchinson going to be back for that game? Do you know? I think he is.
No clue, honestly. It could go either way.
If Hutchinson's back, I'm taking the Lions. But the coordinator thing scares me. It really does. Like, I like Dan Campbell. I think he's better than Matt LaFleur. It's just I don't know without having, with both their coordinators walking this year and taking head coaching jobs, it's just really difficult. But I'll take the Lions. Hopefully, Goff can outplay Jordan Love. And the last game we got on here is, I believe it's the last game. Let me just double check. Let me scroll down. Yeah, last game. Minnesota Vikings at Chicago Bears. Monday night.
I picked the Bears, Eddie. I don't know what the Vikings are going to do with their quarterback, who they're still kind of shaky and stuff. Even if they decided to go with JJ McCarthy, he's coming back from an injury. He's like a rookie and stuff. I would definitely pick the Bears here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bears too. I think Ben Johnson with Caleb. I think he might get off to a slow start, but JJ I think is going to be slower because at least Caleb's got some playing time under his belt. And I mean, Kevin O'Connell's a great coach. Ben Johnson, I think he could be a great coach, but we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, he rebuilt the offensive line in Chicago, so Caleb will probably have more time to throw. I mean, yeah, the Vikings have the best weapon in the game and Justin Jefferson, but
the Bears are loaded.
They built their offensive line. They got DJ Moore. They got Aroma Dunze. They drafted a tight end this year, and they got Cole Kmet. They still got Swift. Their defense is really good. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears here Monday night at home. So, but that's our week 1 predictions, guys, for everybody. Let us know in the chat what you guys think about it. Next, we are going to move on to, I think it's Brock Purdy's Brock Purdy's contract. So let me go ahead and take this down real quick. Get rid of it. Muhammad, what was your thoughts on Brock Purdy's contract that he got this year? I think it was 5 years, $265 million, like 180 something million guaranteed, I believe.
181 guaranteed. It's averaging about $53 million a year.
Yeah, $53 million. I think the signing bonus for him is $40 million. So he's going to get $40 million up front. But what were your overall thoughts? Do you think that's good or bad for the 49ers and or Brock Purdy?
Honestly, Eddie, I would say bad. If I'm ever a GM and I'm trying to pay a quarterback, the question I'll ask myself is this quarterback going to take me to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl before I'm going to pay all this money? And Purdy, I mean, I know they were in the Super Bowl. Is he going to win a Super Bowl? He needs a lot of help, Eddie. he's like a game manager type. I don't see this like killer instinct in him or anything. I think that's a lot of money. At the same time, I understand why the 49ers have to do it, but they don't have any talent, Eddie. They don't have anything or nobody in the team. They lost a lot of players to injury. A lot of players went on free agency. I don't think they're with this huge contract, their cap is going to be terrible. And I don't think they were drafting really well for them to sustain this team. So I don't know, Eddie. I think it's a lot of money. They're in trouble. I think they're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. They lost Dre Greenlaw. They lost Hufanga. Trent Williams is 37. McCaffrey, we don't know what he's going to be. George Kittle's getting older. Their offensive line as a whole, it doesn't look that great. They lost Debo Samuel. Like, we talked about it. Like, I just don't think the 49ers are going to be good this year. This is going to be like a kind of a rebuilding year for them. So, but yeah, like, maybe in a couple of years, whenever they have some flexibility and Brock Purdy's contract doesn't look too bad, they might be able to rebuild and put some more players on this. I mean, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they're really good at drafting. So hopefully they can find some good players in the draft starting after this year because they're going to need it once that contract kicks in.
I give them a couple of seasons to rebuild, and we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with that. Next up, I just want to get your thoughts on this and let us know your thoughts in the comments too, guys. Jim Irsay, the Colts owner, passing away. What were your initial thoughts to that?
I was pretty sad, Eddie. I mean, didn't see it coming. He was still young. I think he was like 65.
Yeah.
I think he's 65. I didn't really like how he ran the organization, the Colts. My brother liked the Colts and stuff. I kind of disagreed with a lot of decisions, but it's pretty sad to see this happening. You know, I think it was a pretty big shock for the NFL in general, especially with his age and stuff. Didn't hear he was sick or anything. But yeah, that's pretty sad for the entire NFL family, I would say.
Yeah, he was only 65 when he passed away. Based on what I heard, it was because of drugs and alcohol. I don't know if he overdosed or if it was just like a long lifetime of doing it. It finally caught up to him. But that's what I heard. I don't know if it's 100% true, but that's just what I hear. And that just really sucks. I'm pretty sure he was at the league owners meeting, a couple of weeks ago, or actually just at the beginning of the week, like a couple of days before he passed away, he was there and he was voting on the next things we're going to be talking about, the tush push and the playoff seeding. He was there. And then a couple of days later is when the news broke about him. So, I mean, I don't know exactly what it is. That's just what I hear it was drug induced or alcohol induced. So, but it's sad. And I agree with you. I don't like the way he was running the Colts. Mm-hmm. He wasn't really overstepping, I think, like most, owners do, like a Jerry Jones or David Tepper or even a Woody Johnson for the Jets. But, it still sucks. Like, I feel bad for the Colts fan base. Rest in peace, guys. I really don't want the Colts to go down the same road the Broncos did, where when we lost our owner, we just went to shit. Like, I want every team in the AFC to be good because I want it to be competitive. Yeah, I want my Broncos to win, of course. I want them to win the division. I want them to win the conference. I want them to win the Super Bowl. But it's more fun to me whenever all the teams or the majority of teams in a conference are really, really good. Because it makes the conference that much more fun to watch. Watch the games and see who's going to win, who's going to lose, whatever. But rest in peace to Jim Irsay. Next up, Mohammed, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. So they had 2 votes over the last week. The first one was the vote to ban the tush push. I think there was 22 teams that voted to ban it, and there was only 10 teams that voted to keep it. And I hate to say it, but our Broncos were one of the teams that voted to get rid of it. Personally, I don't want to get rid of it. Learn to freaking stop it. Like, I'm sick of football getting soft. I really am. Like, this is just another way to get football to be soft. And I don't fucking like it. I don't. Like, I want it to be hard, gritty. Like, get somebody big up there in front and to stop the freaking play. But what are your thoughts on it, Mohammed?
I agree with you, Eddie. I don't see anything wrong with it. It gives an advantage to teams like the Eagles, obviously, because they have a pretty good O-line, if you don't like it, work on your defense, your D-line, or improve your O-line to take, make a good use of it. So, I don't have a problem with it. I honestly thought it would be banned. I don't know, I just had this feeling, but
they were 2 votes away.
Yeah, Obviously, it didn't. So it's here to stay. And like
They
you said,
needed
got to deal with it.
they needed 24 votes to ban it. They got 22. I was watching a show the other day that said what's going to happen, or what he thinks is going to happen, is that this year they didn't ban it. The Eagles are going to run. There's going to be a gruesome injury, and then next year there's going to be another vote on it again. It'll pass next year to ban it. I don't think that's the case. Like, the Eagles been doing it for like what 2-3 years now, and there hasn't been an injury during that play, and they only run it maybe 4 times a game, depending. Less than that. Like, I don't think there's going to be an injury. It's not going to get banned. Because then if you ban that, I also heard someone say this, like if you ban the tush push, then you got to ban like what happened with the Broncos last year when we were playing against, who was it, the Panthers, I think, or no, the Falcons, when Javonte was stopped short of the goal line and then like the whole team pushed him. Like you won't be able to do that either.
Yep. No stop. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm glad it didn't get banned, but we'll have to revisit this conversation, I'm sure, next off season. Next up, the other thing that they voted on, excuse me, was trying to make it to where they could do the reseeding for the NFL for each conference. Like, it won't be like, oh, the division winner gets like the 1 through 4 seed, and then you got 3 wild card teams. It's whoever's got the best record. Like, if say like you got the Broncos and Chiefs, they both, Chiefs or the Broncos say go 4-13 or whatever, and the Chiefs go say 12-5, and then you got a division over here, like say the Texans go 10-7 next year, and they get the 4 seed, and the Chiefs have to slide down to the wild card. This would be able to boost, the Chiefs up to that 4 seed or 3 seed, depending, and knocking the Texans, the division winner, down to the wild card and putting the Chiefs up there. That way they get a home playoff game because they got the better record. What were your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
I don't know, Eddie. I think it was the Lions that actually proposed it, right? From what I've read.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I see what they're saying, but I don't think it's fair, Eddie. I don't think it's fair.
It's basically saying like every division winner gets a home playoff game. Is basically what they're saying. Every division winner gets a whole playoff game, even if that division winner goes 9-8. Like, you're going to have a bad team. You have a bad team at home against a really good team. But hey, you know what? That's an advantage for the bad team, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Because you have a horrible record. You have a worse record. Like, say you're the, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Say you're the Jags say you're the Jags. So you go 9-8, you win in your division, and then you got the Chiefs who went 12-5 come into your house. You get, like, if you're a division winner and the Chiefs get knocked down and say they're the 5th seed or whatever, you have, they're going to come to your house. That gives the underdog team at least a slight advantage. Like, I like it like the way it's currently set up because it gives the home team that has the worst record a chance. Like, come on. Like, if you got a 9-8 freaking, Jaguars or Jaguars team going to Kansas City facing the 12-5 Kansas City Chiefs, you really think the freaking, Jags have any chance of winning that game in Arrowhead?
Very
on the road, nonetheless?
Yeah.
No. So this gives that team an extra chance to maybe win. They're probably still going to lose, but at least they have, their fans there and they have that home field playoff advantage. I like it the way it's set up. Like, if you don't like the fact that, you had a 12-5 record, but you couldn't win your division and you have to go to the wild card round, too bad. Maybe you should have played better. Maybe you should have won your division. Another thing to me, it just shows that the NFL is trying to be soft. You were a 12-5 team. Oh my God, the 12-5 team has to be a wild card team. Oh my God, because they couldn't win their division, so now they got to go on their own face. The 9-8 team. If you're that good, then you should be able to go on the road to a fucking other place's facility and beat them. If you're that good,
it shouldn't matter.
Yeah,
right?
It shouldn't matter. That's just another way for the NFL to be soft, in my opinion. So I like the way they're keeping it. A 9-8 team gets in at the 4 seed, and if a 12-5 team has to go on the road to play them, so be it. If you're good enough, you should beat them. So, but the last thing I want to get into before we get out of here, Mohammed, is there has been rumors swirling around. I want to get your take on this about the Broncos trading for running back Travis Etienne from the Jaguars. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I know we talked about a different running back. I don't know if it was like last week or a week before, Eddie. It was like Nick Chubb. If the Broncos could maybe
Yeah.
trade, maybe sign him, he wouldn't even have to give up any picks for him. Um, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm against it, Eddie. It depends on like what's going to be the asking price, and at the same time, I think he's about to get paid, right? He's ready to be paid next season or
Yeah.
something. So I don't know, Eddie. I don't know if I would do that. And honestly, I think Sean Payton has faith in Estime. I don't know why, but he does. So I don't see it happening.
No, I'm completely against it. No, I don't want to give up any draft capital to draft a guy. Then, like you said, you had to pay him a year later. Like, I want a Chubb because he's injury. We just had Javonte Williams, who had a gruesome leg injury a few years back, and he's just not the same player. And Nick Chubb is older. Like, at least Williams is only, what, 25, 24? He still has a few years. Nick Chubb is like 28. Like, I'm good. I'd rather see what RJ Harvey has. McLaughlin still a solid running back. And so, in Estime, we need to give him some reps too to see how he does. I don't want to give up draft capital. And plus, I think Sean Payton wants to stay younger. He wants to draft and develop guys. So I'm against it fully. Like, I'm happy with our running back room. And if something happens, God forbid, once somebody like Harvey gets injured or, he's just not as good, then you can think about, if you're especially in the playoff hunt at that point in the season towards the midway point of the season, the trade deadline, then you can go out and trade for Travis Etienne if you think he's good enough to come in and help you get to the playoffs and win. So I would say no right now at the start of the season. See what you got in your young guys, especially Harvey. And if they're good, if he's a 3-down back, then why the heck would you want to give up picks for a running back that you have to pay next year when you have Harvey that's a good 3-down back? I mean, we don't know that yet, but he could be. So I'm against it. If you want to do it, wait until later in the season and see if Harvey's actually the guy. If not, or somebody gets injured, then you can trade for somebody. But until then, I'd say no. So, but that's it for us tonight, guys. We're at an hour and 37 minutes. Wow, we actually went over.
That's a record for us.
A lot of stuff to talk about. Thank you guys for watching today. Like I said, again, like, comment, subscribe on the video. Also hit that bell notification, to know when we go live. Big E, thank you for coming in and commenting. Next time, guys, please, anybody that wants to comment, give their takes, let us know in the comments, and we'll post it up here and we'll talk about it. But Mohammed, it's been great, man. I can't wait until next week.
Same, man. Broncos country.
And OTA start this week.
Yeah.
OTA start this week. Yeah, OTAs, I think the 27th through the 29th, and then the 3rd through the 5th of June.
Oh,
and
wow.
after that, we got nothing for like a month and a half of football until training camp starts. So, but we'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have more news to talk about. We'll have OTAs to talk about. But until then, Mohammed, I'll see you next week, bro.
All right. Take care, Eddie.
All right. See you guys. Bye.